على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. And with the voice of our reader. Come here. Okay. Right. Today we are in chapter number 6, damage and damage. Right. تفضل يا حسين.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على أنبياء المرسلين أما بعد. Topic 3, sharecropping and renting, page 171, chapter 6, damage and damages. Allah has prohibited usurping other people's property and has imposed liability for whatever is damaged of the property taken without right, even if by mistake. Whoever damages another's property, and this being considerable, without its owner's permission, is financially liable to make up for it.
طيب, بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. As we said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded us to not take the rights or the property or whatever belongs to others without right. Because same like life, also the property of the believer or other people is forbidden to take it without any legal excuse. Some people, they may not take it, but may they destroy it. And some people, unfortunately, especially these days, they do it and they think it's okay. And especially if no one can catch them or see them. So maybe you are at home and somebody come and break the glass of your car. Or maybe break something that belongs to you, your window, or anything. This kind of damage is forbidden. Why? Because it's attack, it's insult, it's taking the rights of others without any legal excuse. So Allah Azza wa Jal forbidden, as the Sheikh said here, prohibited to destroy other people's property. As the same that you don't like anybody to destroy whatever belongs to you, the same thing also for others. Why? Because when you destroy something for other people, that means you cost them money or not? To fix it. So in indirect way, you wasted their money. You wasted their some of their income without right. And this is why it is forbidden. Because you have no right to destroy, to damage, to misuse other people's property. And then if this happens, then you are, in the Sharia, you are liable to what? To fix what you broke or what you damaged, or replace for the price of whatever destroyed because of you. As the Sheikh said here, no matter if this was intentionally, I mean the person did it by purpose, or it was not intentional, by accident. You drive your car, you hit bike or whatever, and you destroy it. And said, "Allah, I'm sorry, I didn't see it." Right? You are sorry. Who's going to pay for the price of this bike? Is it person? Maybe it is all what he has. So it is forbidden, because this is the kind of what? Of i'tida, insulting and taking other people but without legal excuse. Now,
Imam al-Muwaffaq said, there is no juristic disagreement in this regard, whether the damage is intentional or not, and whether the one causing it is legally accountable or not.
نعم. هذا الإمام هو الموفق ابن قدامة. الموفق ابن قدامة. And he is saying here, or he cited for us al-ijma'. When he said لا نعلم خلافا, there is no juristic disagreement. So here he expressed the meaning of ijma' in another way. Instead of saying there is ijma', there is consensus, he said there is no disagreement. And this is the word that the ulama use for ijma'. So either they said ujma'a alayh, that means all agree, or there's a censor for this matter, or they said we don't know any disagreement. When you say there is no disagreement, that means what? That means agreed all. So what he means here, that all as ijma', and this as we said, one of the source of the Sharia. We said al-Sharia, or the source of the Sharia is what? Al-Qur'anu, wal-Sunnah, wal-Ijma'. And some ulama added al-Qiyas. But these, the three main sources. Right. And he said, whether the damage is intentional or not, as I mentioned in the example. Either this person, he destroyed by purpose, or it was happened by accident. You are liable for whatever you damage or destroy. And then he said, and whether the one causing it is legally accountable or not. Here, look to the point here. Who is the legally, illegally accountable? Like the child or crazy man, mad person. We know in Sharia that those are not accountable. رفع القلم عن ثلاثة: النائم حتى يستيقظ، والصغير little child till he grow up، والمجنون حتى يفيق. And the one who is out of his mind. He is not accountable for salah, okay, for fasting, for any of these ibadat. But when it comes to the right of others, he is accountable. So if your child took rock, for example, and broke the glass of somebody's car, and he came to you and he said, your child broke the glass of my car, he said, he's a little boy, he's a kid, what do you want me to do for you? Pay for what he did? Yes, you have to pay. You have to pay. Why? Because it's the right of others. Same for the majnoon, man. Okay? One of the family is out of his mind. And you go there, break the cars of others, or destroy something that belongs to others. And when they catch him, they took him to the court and you say, you came and he said, mad. He is mad. But you are responsible. The guardian for this person should pay for what he destroyed. Get the point here? So that, my dear brothers, it's very important to know, and just to show you the importance of preserving the rights of others. That even on the day of judgment, Allah Azza wa Jal may forgive you for everything, except something that belongs to others, unless they execute. And this is why the Prophet ﷺ, remember the day, they did. You know the Mujahid, the one who died in the cause of Allah Azza wa Jal, in jihad, Shaheed. Okay? And you know the Shaheed, as mentioned in the Hadith, all his sins will be forgiven with the first drop of his blood. All his sins forgiven. And then he said, except the death. Except the death. Why? Because the death belongs to others, right, to other people. Anything for Allah Azza wa Jalla will forgive it. And this is why the Prophet ﷺ always used to, whenever they present janazah in front of him to pray, the funeral prayer, he will ask, does he have any debt in his time? If they said no, he will proceed and he will pray. If they said yes, he will say, صلوا على أخيكم. You pray, I'm not going to pray. And it happened one time that he said this, and they said yes, he has debt of some money, and one of the Sahaba said, I will pay it. I'll take from his account to my account, but I will be accountable for it. The Prophet ﷺ prayed. All this, you see, look at the Sharia, you should look the general guideline here, apply everywhere. So even here in the dummy, this little child, this madman, is not accountable, okay, but he will pay for whatever he destroys. And this is more justice than what they do in the civil court or what they do right now. For example, the other court, if a not accountable person did this, he will go and they will bring reports that he is out of his mind, Majnoon, or he has some psycho problem. They will say, okay, release him because he has psycho problem. Islam say no. Why? Because who will pay for this person who was hurt by this loss? Who is going to pay for his loss? And this is why the guardian of this person, either his parents, his family, or if he has some inheritance, for example, if he is a little child and he has some inheritance, the guardian, he should pay from his money or whatever he did, whatever he lost that he destroyed. Now,
Similarly, whoever causes the damage of another's wealth is financially liable for it. For example, if when one opens a gate, causing what is locked in to be lost or stolen, or when one unfastens a container, causing what is therein to be wasted or damaged, one is liable for them.
now, you see here, if maybe you didn't take the money, but you were the one who caused this loss. So if a person, he found shop, and the door was closed. Just for fun, he opened the door and he left. He didn't steal anything. But when he opened this door for this job, what happened? Some people, they come, because it's open and nobody there, and took money or took whatever. Who is responsible for this? The one who opened the door. Because he was the main reason for this theft or this loss. Now,
Likewise, if someone ties a riding animal in a narrow street, causing a passerby to stumble and be harmed or injured, he has to pay him for the damage caused.
yes, street, narrow street, people, they want to pass. And you tie, for example, a cow or a foal, for example, or a donkey, and somebody come, they want to pass, and this kick him, and he was hurt. You are the one who caused this problem. Okay? And the same thing also, if somebody, for example, he put his car, and he didn't hold the brake, and then he left the car. And then the car went down, because it's yellow, and destroyed something. Somebody killed anybody. Who is responsible for this? The owner. You can say, no, I wasn't there. I was with Hussein. You can ask him, his house. The car by itself. You see, you are the one responsible because you didn't take the means of not hurting others with your car or whatever, tools that you left behind. The same thing also for those people who are working now in building, construction. Sometimes some people are hurt by this construction. Right or not? Maybe they dig a hole in the earth and they don't put any sign that say there is a hole or there is and somebody come in the dark, he didn't see it, and he pulls down. Who's responsible for this? Huh? Those who put this construction or this woods or whatever in the way of other people. Now,
Likewise, this is exactly like the one who parks the car in the middle of the street and as a result another car or a person is hit, whereby damage is caused. The one who has parked the car is liable to make up for the damage. This opinion is based on the hadith related by Qurasini, Daraqutni, and other compilers of hadith that states, if one ties a riding animal in one of the pathways of the Muslims or in one of their markets and it treads on someone or something by one of its front or back legs, one is liable for it.
now, this is very clear. Now,
The same ruling applies when one leaves clay, a piece of wood or a stone in a pathway or digs a hole in it, causing harm or injury to a passerby.
yeah, this is what we say. Especially these days, for this construction, some people when they build this, they don't care about public, about others. Like for example, you are parking your car, or you are passing by the car, and something from this construction pull down and hit your car. If you go to the court, they are labeled for this. Nobody will come and say, well, nobody was there. Okay, it fell by itself. No worker. So how can you went up to fix your car? It's not our fault. Yes, it is your fault. Why? Because you didn't take all the means persecution that will not affect, will make these woods or iron, whatever, pull down in the streets of the people. So this is the example that the Sheikh mentioned here. Now,
In the same way, if someone throws watermelon peels or lets water in the street, causing a passerby to slip and get injured, he is to make up for it.
yeah, this is why some people, they don't care. They eat, for example, banana. You know the banana. And then they throw the skin. What will happen if somebody passes there? He may slip. He will break his leg. Who is responsible for this? The one who throws this skin. People are not aware of these things. And this is why إماطة الطريق عن إماطة الأذى عن الطريق صدقة. To clear the way from whatever hurt people, this is sadaqah. Some ulama says that means the one who threw something, it is sin. The one who put something in the way of people is committing sin. Because removing this is sadaqah. Now,
People who do all such actions are financially liable for the resulting damage, as such deeds are regarded as transgression. Unfortunately, there are many such instances of carelessness everywhere nowadays. Too many holes are heedlessly dug on the roads and streets, too many blocks and obstacles are put therein, and too much damage is caused by that heedlessness due to the lack of control and supervision. Some people may even occupy streets as if they were their own.
yeah, this is what you see in shops. We see this now, right? In front of this shop, people put boxes. Use it as a storage. If you want to move it or remove it, say, no, why will he will not allow you to remove it. It's not his right to use this because this is way for people. But unfortunately, because there is no supervision by the authority for this, even this is not lawful, okay? But they use it. All this is not lawful in Islam. The people, they occupy, the pathway for people. This is what we see in Islam. In front of many shops. You see the shops, and look, they force you to walk in the middle of the street. Where is the way or the road for cars? Why? Because there is no space left for you. And this is not right. Now,
Some people may even occupy streets as if they were their own, dedicating them for their own use, causing harm to those passing by without caring for the sins they are committing in this way, or the punishment that awaits them. Among the matters that incur financial liability is one is when one has a mad dog that assaults the passerby or bites any of them.
Any animal that you, or pet that you have, and we know that it's not lawful for a Muslim, it's very important, brothers. It is not lawful for the Muslim to have a dog. Okay? Those who are using pets as dogs, following the example of the non-believers, they are committing sin. In fact, the one who owns a dog, every day, one qirat of his good deed will gone because of this. There's only very, very limited exception for this. To have dog for what? For for protection, guardian, hirasa, okay, for sight, for hunting, and this when you say God, especially for in towns, if you have sheep, if you have animals, cattle, and you have this dog just to protect it from wolves. This is the only thing there. Not just to have dog as big as we see it, and people going in the street and show that they have dogs different kinds. All this is haram, not allowed. So if this dog attacks or insults anybody, then the owner of this dog will be liable for any damage that he has or he did. Huh?
The owner of the dog is liable to make up for the resulting damages or injuries. For having such a dog is an act of transgression. On the other hand, if someone digs a well in his courtyard for his own purpose, he is financially liable for any damage that might be caused through it. He is obliged to keep it in a condition that prevents harming the passerby. However, if he leaves it without such precautions, he is deemed a transgressor.
Now, if he took all that, for example, he make seeds, he put any signs, so people will not go, then the one who go and pass over this, he will be the one who is responsible. But if it was left, especially for kids, okay, then he is the one who will be liable. Why? Because he caused the damage himself for others. Now,
moreover, if someone owns cattle, he is obliged to keep them away from damaging other people's crops, especially at night. Otherwise, he is financially liable for whatever they damage.
now this happens most of the time where in countryside, countries, because there is farms, people there either they have farms or they have cattle like sheep or cows, or here we have problem with camels. Here, maybe you notice camels in road, like what happened when the car accident. How many people they were killed because of this? Now, of this car accident because of the camel, the owner of this camel is liable for this because he is the one. Okay, I remember, and we still have this problem in our villages. For example, these camels, they leave it and they come to the farms and they eat whatever in the farms and destroy. So people, what they do, they try to protect their farms by seizing, by sticks or whatever, by wires. Wires. Some of these camels maybe when they come to this wire, they cannot get out and maybe hurt. So who's liable here? Their owner, because this wire was put to protect, your property, and this sending their camels without any shepherd, without any guardian with them. Get the point here? So it's very important to know that the person is responsible for any liability, either it was done by him and himself, his children, anyone under his control, or his animals, or whatever he left, and make it as cause to hurt others and destroy their property. Now,
the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam judged in such a case. The owners of property, that is cattle, should keep it during the daytime, and they are liable for the damages they, the cattle, cause during the night time. The owner of a domestic animal is not liable for it during the daytime, except if he releases it close to what it usually damages. Imam al-Baghawi, may Allah have mercy on him, said, scholars maintain that the owners of raising cattle are not liable for the people's property. They the cattle damaged during the daytime.
Why? Because most of the time people are around. People are around. And they can push it away. But at night they are sleeping. So we'll take care of this. The owner of this cattle should what? Should hold it, not to send it. Not.
However, their owners are liable for whatever they damage during the night. For it is conventional that the owners of gardens and orchards are to protect their property during the daytime, while the cattle owners are to detain them during the night time. Thus, whoever breaks this habit has deviated from the convention. This is in case the owner of the cattle is absent, but if he is there, he has to pay for what his cattle have damaged. In the Quran, Allah mentions a story about Prophet Dawood and Sulaiman and their judgment concerning a similar case of damage. Allah Azza wa Jal says, which translates in Surah Al-Anbiya, and mentioned David and Solomon when they judged concerning the field, when the sheep of a people overran it at night, and we were witness to their judgment. And we gave understanding of it, that is the case, to Solomon, and to each of them we gave judgment and knowledge.
This ayah في سورة الأنبياء. سورة الأنبياء verse 78 and 79. The ayah, as mentioned in the Quran, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وداود وسليمان إذ يحكمان في الحرث إذ نفشت فيه غنم القوم وكنا لحكمهم شاهدين ففهمناها سليمان وكلا آتينا حكما وعلما. So here the Shaykh, may Allah reward him, he brought this as an example to prove the case or difference between the day and the night. So he explaining based on this ayah the commentary of Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah ta'ala. And now he will say it. Now, what Ibn Taymiyyah said? Now,
Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, may Allah have mercy on him, said, according to the Quran, Sulaiman was clearly favored by understanding the wisdom of liability on equal terms. The sheep were grazing at night and damaged a grape orchard. Dawood judged that the shepherds should bear the exact value of the damage. And then he estimated the sheep and found that their value was equal to the compensation for the damage. Therefore, he gave judgment that all the sheep should be given to the owner of the orchard. However, Sulaiman judged that the owners of the sheep were liable for the damaged orchard, and that they should pay its exact equivalent in compensation by cultivating the orchard until it returns to its original state. He did not also deprive the owners of the orchard of the crops that were supposed to be yielded from the time of damage until the time of recovery. Thus, Sulaiman gave the owners of the orchard the sheep so as to benefit from them as much as the sheep owners used to benefit from the orchard. In other words, they would utilize the shepherd's sheep in return for the fruits they missed of their orchard until the orchard was recultivated by the shepherds in compensation. So, Sulaiman evaluated the two guarantees and found them equal. And that was an example of the knowledge Allah favored him with and the wisdom He praised him for.
now you can return to the tafsir about this ayah. Tafsir about this ayah. Allah Azza wa Jal gave him wisdom for both. Dawood and Sulaiman. And you know Sulaiman is the son of Dawood. But Allah Azza wa Jal give here more understanding for Sulaiman for this case, as the Shaykh mentioned. Now,
if an animal has been led or ridden by someone, he is liable only for whatever it damages with its front organs, such as the foreleg or the mouth. Yet he is not liable for what is damaged by the animal's hind parts, such as the hind legs.
now, like cars now, we don't have animals, for example. The cars, you are driving cars, so you are responsible. Or the driver, not the owner of the car, the driver who is, drives this car, is the one who is responsible for, or liable for, the damage, because he is the one who has control over this. And it's very important for drivers to know this. They should not think that whatever damage they do, it should be go to their kafil or their own, the owner of the car to pay for it. No, because you are the one who are in the car. Okay? Otherwise, it was left that the owner of the car will pay all the damage. Then some of the drivers, they will not be careful. They will be careless. They will say, whatever happened to this car will be... And we say this in general. We know that the Muslims, the believer who fear Allah Azza wa Jal, they will not do this. But in case some people, they don't care. So this is Sharia is saying. The one who is in charge at this time, driving the car, he is the one who is liable for any damage that happened because of this accident. Now,
the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, there is no compensation for whatsoever is damaged or killed or injured by a beast's leg. Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, may Allah have mercy on him, said, the injuries or damages caused by animals like cows, sheep, and the like are not to be compensated by the owner if they are off a leash. This occurs, for example, when an animal breaks loose from the person leading it and then causes damage. In this case, there is no financial liability on the owner for the damage, provided that the animal is not used to biting and that its owner has not been negligent in detaining it at night and keeping it away from marketplaces and people's gatherings.
you see, this is here the same point. Depends on how much you are taking all the means to hold your animals, hold your cars, or whatever that you have. You took all the means that nothing will be happen, or this animals will go and destroy other people's property. But if it was beyond your control, something you did all the means, but it happened beyond your control, as the Sheikh said here, it's not liable because this is something you have no control over. Now,
the same opinion is maintained by some other scholars who state that there is no compensation.
and this is the matter is not all agree upon. This is an area where ulama have different view. As we mentioned here, some ulama they said you are liable because it's you. Others they said if you did, take all the means, all the persecution, not to go and destroy others, then you are not liable. Okay? So this is view of, have different view between ulama now.
And who state that there is no compensation for the damage caused if the animal escapes and wanders about aimlessly without a leader or a rider, unless if it is a wild beast. In addition, if someone is attacked by a human being or an animal, and killing them is the only way to stop them, there will be no compensation on that person in case he kills them.
Now, for example, a person attacks somebody, he kills, and he wants to push him away, he cannot. There's no way to push, for example, this cow or this animal, except through if he kills this animal. Now, in this case, there is no ability. Why? Because it's what we call it self-defense. In the Sharia, the self-defense, person, if he has no other choice, be careful about this, no other choice to defend his life except by taking the life of this animal or this the one who attacked him, there is no liability on it. Okay? Because this is considered what? Self-defense. And I think most of law all over the world, I think they apply this, right? They call it self-defense, but you should prove that it is self-defense. Sometimes it's difficult to prove it. Okay? But if you are, for example, you are with your friend in the car, and in the middle of the desert, then one man stops you under the gunpoint, and he wants to take your car or from the family or your wealth, and you were able to escape from him by killing him. The only way that you maybe help him by car or whatever, then there is no issue, according to this. Now, but as we say, the Muslim should be aware of this, that he should not say, well, since it is okay to kill the one who attacked me, then I will take it as solution. No, try to avoid, not to, but if it was the only way to protect yourself and your family, then the one that was attacked is liable for any loss or damage because he is the one who caused it. Now,
this is because killing here is a means of self-defense, which is permissible. So there is no liability for its consequences. Moreover, the killing of an assaulter is intended to prevent its harm. So one will not be regarded as a killer when one kills it in self-defense.
now, why? Because he killed himself. Right or not? The one who came, this criminal who came to kill and plan this incident, this situation, he's the one who caused the killing for himself. Because other people will not leave him, they will defend themselves. And when they defended themselves, he killed others. So who's the one who initiates this situation? He's the criminal. Therefore, there's no ability for the one who killed him. Now,
rather, the assaulter itself will be regarded as a self-murderer in this case. Shaykh Taqiyuddin said, a person has to stop the assaulter, and if it cannot be stopped except by killing, it is permissible for the attacked person to do so, according to the unanimous juristic agreement in this regard.
now, this is agreed upon as the Shaykh.
Among the objects for which there is no compensation in case of damage are musical and entertainment instruments, crosses, wine containers, and books on misguidance, superstition, dissoluteness, and profligacy.
Why there's no ability? Because all these are haram. All these things is haram. Now, it's haram. So there's no ability. But here I would like to make it very clear for the security of the society. It's not allowed for anyone to take the law in his hand. Very important. Don't say, wallah, here they say there's no ability if you break music instrument or and some people they will take it as excuse. We say the one who changed the munkar in the society by hand, only the authorized people, authorized person. But these things, because it is haram, so there is no ability to pay for it. I mean, if he broke a container where there's wine, and he goes to the court and he says, they will not ask this person to pay for the wine that was there. Why? Because that means you are buying and you are paying money for what? For what is haram. And this is why it is not liable, not under the ability of the person if it was happened by accident. Now,
this is implied in the hadith related by Imam Ahmad on the authority of Ibn Umar, who narrated that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam ordered him to get a knife, and then he, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, went to the markets of Medina, where there were leather containers of intoxicants bought from Asham. Ibn Umar added that those leather containers of wine were torn by knives in the presence of the Prophet ﷺ, who commanded his companions to do the same.
So we see from this hadith, or this dalil, who is the one who gives the command? The Prophet ﷺ. And he's asking as what here? As a ruler, as the one who applied the law to the Sahaba. They did not go by themselves and they tried to change this munkar. Okay? To say, well, there is a shop, they are selling wine, alcohol, and let's go and destroy it. You say, this is not your job, it's not your right. It's your right to what? To report this to whom? To the authority. But if somebody comes from the authority, from the government, and they destroy this thing, is there liability on the government or the authority for destroying this thing? No. Why? Because it should not be done. This is by itself a violation for the law in the Muslim community. Now, so if somebody did it, then the only one who changed this munkar are what? The rulers and those who are authorized. And this is very, very important when we say al-amr bil-ma'ruf wal-nahi an-al-munkar. There are 2 or 3 levels. 3 levels. We should be aware of this. Some youth, because they are highly motivated to follow the sunnah and to apply the hadith, they go by their hand. They want to change everything by their hand. We say there are 3 levels. The first level by hand, and the only one who use their hand, which means their power, okay, only whom the authority, the authorized agency, person, police, for example, others. Right. The second level is by what? By saying, by talking, by telling, by his tongue. And this is your right. Any Muslim, he should go and report this to the authority, or he may go and give advice. This is not lawful. He should not do this. Give advice. If they accept, it's okay. If they didn't, then he should not fight with them. He should go and carry it to the authority. Last thing is in the heart. Especially in an area or country where this kind of violation is lawful. Like, for example, you are in a non-Muslim country. Okay? And you see this munkar. You see people are drinking alcohol. If you go to the authority, they will tell you it's not your business. Right? There's something that's allowed in the community. So what should you do? At least you hate this action in your heart. You don't approve it in your heart. And you do whatever you can to stay away. For example, not to sit in the same table when they serve alcohol. Not to eat in the same table where they eat pork. Okay? And it's very important with our relation with non-Muslims. That means you should understand this. If you are inviting somebody because he likes wine, you say, okay. For example, you invite somebody to the restaurant and came the waitress and then asked, what do you want? And he asked. He should be aware that he should not order something which is forbidden for you. Especially if you are going to pay the bill. You are the one who invited him. You can get, please. You should not get any wine. Otherwise I cannot sit with you. Okay? Or I'm not going to pay. Very important. Don't be shy. And for some Muslims, when they get invited non-Muslim and they come and they order, well, free, man. So they go and order a glass of wine, and then you are the one who will pay. And say, I invited him, how come I don't pay for his food? You should be shy more from whom? From Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now,
this hadith proves the commendableness of destroying such immoral things without anything in compensation. Still, this should be carried out under the control and supervision of authorities, so as to guarantee public interest and prevent any evil or corruption resulting.
Now, any evil of corruption that happens because of what? Because people, they may fight, and you have no authority. They will tell you who you are, to come and destroy this, and they will fighting. It will lead maybe to more damage than killing or injury or anything. Right? So by this, inshallah, we finish this chapter. Inshallah, next chapter number 3 will be first. We'll take it inshallah next week. Jazakallah khair. You have any questions?